Hello everyone. Physics is never a difficult subject for a student who is interested, provided he or she has a clear and strong physics teacher. So here I am, Mr. Dharanidhar, your favorite physics teacher in your favorite YouTube channel, Bhouthics. So today's question is a case-based question asked in the year 2024 in the question paper set number 31/2/1 for 4 marks. So let us read the question first of all. When electric current flows through a purely resistive circuit, the electrical energy gets fully converted into heat energy. The amount of heat produced H in circuit is directly proportional to square of the current and the resistance time for which the current flows. In other words, H is equal to I square into R into T. Devices such as electric fuse, heater, iron, etc. all are based on this effect called heating effect of electric current. So first question asked here is list two properties of heating elements. The properties of heating elements should be in such a way that they should be having high resistivity. Why? Because the heat produced by the heating element will be directly proportional to the resistance. H is proportional to resistance. So it should be having high resistivity, and as it has high resistivity, it will produce more heat. As it produces more heat, it should not get melted for lower temperatures. That's why the properties of heating element will be high resistivity and high melting point. There are some more properties also, but in those which are more important will be high resistivity and high melting point. And next question which they asked was list two properties of electric fuse. See, heating elements also works on the same effect called heating effect of electric current, and electric fuse also works on the same effect called heating effect of electric current, but the properties of electric fuse are different, properties of heating elements are different. So what are the properties of electric fuse? Those properties will be high resistance and low melting point. Heating elements which we use in the equipment should be having high melting point. The properties of electric fuse should be having low melting point. So this was the case based question, first question, second question, and this is not the end. And they asked one more question also. The third question was name the principle. Name the principle on which electric fuse works. Explain how a fuse wire and fuse works and saves electrical appliances from getting damaged when accidentally high currents produced. So in this question, they asked two questions. First question is the principle on which electric fuse works. The principle on which electric fuse works is heating effect of electric current. See, in this question, this will be the key word. Heating effect of electric current. This is the key word. For this word, will be more marks given. This is for 2 marks question. Next, explain how fuse wire works and saves electrical appliances from getting damaged when accidentally high currents produced. When lightning happens, thunder happens, what happens? More current will be induced in the conductors which are in the streets, and that high currents will be entering in our home. Because of that, our all electrical appliances like TV, it may be mobile, laptop, chargers, these all will get damaged. So to prevent that, we use a fuse. How is that fuse protecting the equipment? That is what the question means. So how it will produce, how it will protect means electric fuse will be always placed in series to all the equipment present in our home. As it is placed in series to all the equipments, what happens? The total current passing in the home must pass through the fuse only. So the total current passing into the home, as it must pass through the fuse, and when high currents passes, what happens? Fuse will get heated up. When fuse gets heated up and it is having low melting point, the property of a fuse is to have low melting point. So what happens if the current in the fuse exceeds the predetermined value, then the heat produced in the fuse will be increased. As the heat produced increases, the fuse melts. The fuse melts down and it forms an open circuit. When an open circuit is created, current can't pass. So what happens? The extra current which was in the fuse, it will be prevented to enter our home, and by that way fuse is protecting all electrical appliances in our home. Okay, this was an R question, means there was an R question also for this question. What was it? You can choose this question or the another question. The another question was electric power of electric heater was 1100 watt. If potential difference between the two terminals of the heater is 220 volts, find the current flowing through the circuit. What will happen if a fuse of 5 amperes is connected to the circuit? That is the question. See, now they gave power rating given power of electric heater is equal to 1100 watt. Now potential difference V, that they gave us 220 volts, and electric power represented by P is equal to 1100 watts. Now they asked us to find out the electric current flowing in bracket I is equal to question mark. What do we know? We know the formula for power as P is equal to V into I. So substitute P value here. P value is 1100 watt is equal to V value is 220 volts into I we have to find out. So to find out I will be is equal to 1100 divided by 220. 0, 0, 22 ones are 22 5s are. So current here will be is equal to 5 amperes. Clear? Right. Don't get confused here. I just sent 220 this side. It becomes 1100 divided by 200. So 1100 divided by 200, 220 is equal to I. So I will be is equal to 1100 divided by 220. 0, 0 cancels. 22 1 22 5 I is equal to 5 amperes. So one more question is, what will happen if a fuse of 5 amperes is connected in this circuit? If a fuse of 5 amperes is connected, see, generally we will choose a fuse that will be very near to the current in the circuit. So current in the circuit is 5 amperes now, and if we choose a fuse of 5 amperes only, it will operate safely. But if we choose a fuse of 6 amperes, then what happens? Equipment may get damaged. The rating of the fuse should be very close to the requirement of the current requirement of the equipment. So current requirement of the equipment is 5 amperes only. So we should choose a 5 amperes fuse only. Suppose if we take 4 amperes fuse there, what happens? The fuse will melt down if the current exceeds 4 amperes. But the equipment needs 5 amperes there. So what happens? Equipment will not get sufficient current. So in this case, choosing a 5 amperes fuse is the correct decision. So what will happen if a fuse of 5 amperes is connected in the circuit? Circuit will operate satisfactorily. When a fuse of 5 amperes is connected. Right. Thank you. We'll meet in the next video. Thank you so much.